And that brings us to the main event. Shinsuke beat Samoa Joe to win the NXT title. Of course, a great match, but again, we're going to talk about the presentation, the entrances. And with Shinsuke, they had a dedicated violinist play a little bit of an intro, play the song. The whole crowd is singing the song and singing during the match. It just makes it so much easier when the NXT audience, I think there's a lot to be said about the NXT TakeOver audiences just really being on board and being with you guys, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think at this point, speaking specifically for Shinsuke, he didn't need to have another great match, which they did. They had a really good match, but he didn't need to have another just great match. He had that incredible match with Sami Zayn and Dallas, right? And obviously he has a catalog of great matches from New Japan. So he didn't need to have a great match. He needed to have this presentation. And Hunter did a magnificent job, just like he did with Bobby as well. But I also can't forget the talents involved. They had to execute it. But Hunter made sure that he was presented as a star, and that's what he needed, and that's what got him over the hump as being just this great professional wrestler who we all love. It was a great character who we would embrace,
For sure. In this match, people embraced as well. It's a great conflict in styles. Joe is someone who can pretty much work with anybody, though, right? He's just can do anything with anybody.
I think so. I mean, Joe knows who he is. He knows what he can do. He knows what Samoa Joe should do. Some guys, I talked about it maybe last week with about Cash, where I've pitched ideas for him to do, or moves for him to do, or sequences or whatever. I hate the word sequence, but for things for him to do. And he's like, I don't think that's me. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. But that's the thing, is Joe can do so much athletically. He can do so much more if he wants to. And every once in a while he will pull it out. But could you imagine if Stone Cold Steve Austin went to the top rope and did a 450? Even if he could do it, could you imagine him doing it? No, because that's not what you want from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Same thing with Samoa Joe. He was this killer, Samoan submission machine, and that's what you want to see. And he played his part perfectly.